What's up, everybody? This is part one for the tutorial on how to use Animoji in videos outside of text message. So if you're not familiar with what an Animoji is or what it essentially it looks like a little guy like this. Screen's not exactly picking him up fully, but if you have, I think it's an iPhone 10 or above, there's this really cool facial tracking, very similar to what used to exist on a Wii. Gosh, I hope that's still relevant. But there's this little button that's got a monkey on it with its mouth open, kind of going like this. And if you hit that, you'll see all of these different faces show up right here. Some of them are animals, some of them are some crazy other things. The cool function that you can do is there's an add button, and you can create random guys. So that was one that I made of Sean, who had a mohawk. There was another guy that we made for around Christmas time. His name is Snowin', also on here like that. So in part one for this, I want to show you exactly what I typically do to record for this. What I'll typically use are the headphones that normally come with an iPhone. I'll usually put one ear in, and I'm going to hold this part right down here. The important part is that it's really close to my mouth so that it's picking up a lot of the audio so that I'm not having to make it really loud afterwards. But if I keep it too close, then when I'm breathing, you'll hear it and it'll be super loud, and with some of the distortion things we have to do to the voice afterwards, it's going to sound super messed up. There's only been a few times in some of the videos where specifically I wanted the character to sound like he was breathing heavily, that I kept it close so you could hear me going but for the most part, keep it underneath your lip, kind of around here. Okay, so what I'm going to do for the whole thing, though, it can only really track your facial expressions to a certain degree. So when you're talking, you're going to want to move your head around a lot. Your facial expressions have to be incredibly animated. It's going to make you feel a little bit funny. I'll typically close the door so nobody else is around, okay? And you'll hear me talk really, really loudly, okay? So Kyle is who I'm going to use first. So I'm going to hit record, and then you're going to hear just a really basic intro that I normally do with him, okay? Hey everybody, my name is Kyle. I am so excited that you're here today. This is going to be a fantastic day. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to listen back in my ears. Okay, so this was a really important one. This isn't exactly always how I would do it, but you're going to hear whenever we throw it in the Final Cut a few different breath things that happen with it that are just a little bit off and a little bit weird, exactly like what I was talking about, so that you can hear a little bit of what that sounds like. Another important thing is whenever you actually watch it back and you're seeing it, you'll see sometimes immediately right in here that the audio is off from what's actually being said visually on the face. So that's something that if you're really happy with how the take came out and you're okay, the facial expressions look animated and the audio doesn't sound too bad, then it's something you can kind of keep, but you'll see in Final Cut, if it is off, exactly how we're going to change it. So the next step after I've recorded it, I'm going to hit send. And let me be clear on this. I am sending this to myself. I'm not sending this to anybody else. So I'm hitting send, and what immediately is going to happen is there's going to be 3 files that show up with this, okay? So I'm going to grab this one immediately, this first one, and down here the little bottom that's with the square with the arrow, I'm going to now airdrop it to my laptop, okay? So little airdrop button down here. Wait for it to show up. Come on. Okay, so once I see my laptop on there, I'm going to hit it, or your computer or whatever. You're going to airdrop it straight on there, and then it should show up in your downloads. And once I have it downloaded on here, perfect. You're going to see part 2 of exactly what we do with it.